welcome our dear and distinguished guests who joins us here in the studio, Major General Mohammed El Ghubeiban. Major, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Nice to see you again.
Thank you very much. Major, we know that Al-Qaeda tempts the Yemeni children with a quiz offering AK-47 as a top prize for them. How do you perceive this action by Al-Qaeda?
First, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let's just talk about the Al-Qaeda itself in Yemen and where they are, and we'll be talking about their pricing for whoever are joining them and privileges they are doing to them. But let's just think about why Al-Qaeda is looking at the children, why they look at two young kids to offer them such a prize like what you ever said. What does it drive us to think about their mindset? Why they are not talking to a mature people, talking to a people they can let's say dialogue or discuss, even illegal people, whoever as group they think they are equal to them, such as Daesh or such as any other terror group. Why they don't talk to each other? Why they don't try to show the people their ideology, and why they shifted to the kids? This is very, very important thing we have to know. Long time ago, Mr. Zain, Al-Qaeda always targeted equality of people for recruitment, for as to be their membership. They targeted equality of people. First, as you said, the children, less education. People have a conflict with their regime, their government. People were criminal. People were, I'm not gonna say drug users, and then they just thought that they cannot live in their community, so they decided to go for the jihadist track, believing that going to this track will wipe their terrible history. As far as they are going, as their ideology, as their mindset, thinking they will go and fight against whoever is against the Islamic proliferation. That's how they think. So if you look at the group of the Al-Qaeda, you will find them mixed, but mixed with the quite weird variety of people. You don't see the high education people. Maybe you see some of the Afghanistan leaders, I think Dhahiri, Dhawahiri, sorry.
Ayman Dhawahiri.
Ayman al-Dhawahiri, he is quite educated. He is a doctor, dental, I think. Other than this, even Osama bin Laden himself, yes, he went to the university, but for any reason, I think he quit, and then he took the jihadist as they think. This is the proper jihadist. So if you look at the group they're having, or the group they're joining them, you will find them really required type of studying. Even Daesh group, okay, even Daesh group now these days, if you look at them, you will find them in their record something black dot in their history. So they thought that going to this type of groups maybe will be forgiven by God. That's their mindset. This is how they think, by the way. So regardless this is right or wrong. So if we are talking about giving weapons to a child, this gives another sign. Gives a sign that they are full of weapons, because the weapons is expensive. All countries in the world are fighting them. So where they get them? We don't make weapons here in the Middle East. Yes, maybe some countries, but it's quite restricted and well restricted. It has a serial number, and it will be given to a certain people.
It's not that easy.
Of
Yes.
course.
Mhm.
So where they get those type of weapons? Do they have factories? Question mark. They may have. Some of the countries, and I'm not going to say after the collapse or dismantle of the Russian USSR before 90s or after the 90s.
The Soviet Union.
Soviet Union, yeah, USSR. Some countries, they still have those big factories and people were living there. So I think they will, that's as assumption, I'm not definite sure. So they may sell this type of weapons to those groups, terror groups, Daesh, Nusra, whoever, Al-Qaeda. This is one assumption. Where they get the money from? Who's supporting them?
This is another question.
This is another question. And who bringing it to them, as far as they are quite sealed in Yemen. You know, the sea is quite under supervision, the lands is under supervision. Where they get them? Yes, truly, Yemen.
Geographically, they are isolated also?
Because you don't know where they are, no. They are in Somalia, they are in Afghanistan, some of them hidden in anywhere. You never know where they are. Sometimes they name themselves Al-Qaeda, sometimes they name themselves Daesh. And we don't want to go back to the historical information when Daesh born out of Al-Qaeda and they raised up in northern part of Iraq and Syria, and that's how they raised. But all those type of groups, they are all, I could say, their roots or their dad and mom is Al-Qaeda. So let's get back again to the point. The kids, third question, where is their parents? Who bring those young babies from toward the Al-Qaeda leaders? Kids, they know how to go and find them. It's not. Quite difficult. Young kid, 8 years, 15 years, he doesn't know how to reach them. They are hidden somewhere in the mountains. So those type of questions, if we look at it and start analyzing the situation and looking where's the money, who is smuggling it and who's bringing those young babies, require the question mark. It tells you somebody is either, one of hidden power forcing this type of group to remain in the theater. Then they will cause the problems, cause instabilities, because everybody knew their ideologies, people, they understand how they're thinking. The Muslims countries themselves be inherited from Al-Qaeda people. And, the international community, you remember 2001, September. September, what happened back in USA, and Al-Qaeda announced they are the one who is responsible about it.
It claimed responsibility.
The events happen, or attacking the Twin Tower back in New York City and attacking the Pentagon. So, to me, what I think is, I think Al-Qaeda is having quite support from hidden power, hidden people, hidden countries. But with the time, we understand the track, or we knew the track after, let's say, 2003 and 2002, when USA attacked Afghanistan and Iraq, where those leaders went to. We have to understand to answer the three questions. We're talking about the country support, the funds, and who is make the trafficking, the babies or the kids toward them. So if you get back again to the history, we saw that the Al-Qaeda group, after Afghanistan being attacked by USA, where did they go? Where they disappear? And here is another question where I think, and everybody knew that they went back to Iran. So who is supporting, who is doing the trafficking kids, who is getting their money to keep them running and keeping the instability? And if you look at it, Zain, just look at it carefully. See where they are. They came through all the way from Afghanistan. They said that they went to Sudan and they've been kicked out by the Sudani government. Then they went to Somalia, but they've been attacked by whoever they've been attacked to. And now they went back to Yemen. Why they remain in this area? Why they did not go further east? Pakistan is a real difficult terrain, a quite big country, and most of their life they spend it back there in Pakistan or in Afghanistan. Sorry, I mean in Afghanistan, and Afghanistan is, as you know, very hard to control. They only are the government there is controlling Kabul and some few cities. So why they did not remain there with the tribes? Why they did not stay there? No, somebody wants them to be shifted toward the Arab Peninsula. And by the way, all Al-Qaeda groups, they are not Arabs. Some of them are Arabs. Maybe the majorities are Arab. But again, they are not all of them are Arabs. Getting back again to the price. So, to me, shifting the Al-Qaeda leaders or the Al-Qaeda members, when they've been attacked by USA in Afghanistan, where did they go? Everybody knows. CIA, Saudi governments, all intelligent people, and even the Al-Qaeda member people, they said we went to Iran, and they remain there in Iran. And look at how they exploit or how they used them. Where they are now, they are Al-Hashd al-Sha'bi, which is the crowd people, fighting back in Syria, fighting the regime, or fighting the illegal Syrian people, so those Afghan people and Pakistani people. So they are now fighting through Iraq border. They went back to Syria. Some of the Arab people, they went back to Yemen. Though in Yemen, they are sometimes they've been there for sometimes. I mean, they are more longer time in Yemen. So this is the questions we have to discuss. The funds and the trafficking and the smuggling weapons toward them, it's not easy. It goes through the borders, and not only you're talking about 100 of rifles. No, you're talking about thousands. Where they keep the money? Which banks they keep the money? Of course, they may use the drugs. They may use assassinations. They may use whatever they may use to get the money. But what do you think, that they will keep the cash money there in their buckets? No way. No way they will keep the cash. I'm not saying they are poor, but they don't have an ethics that they may kill each other. Then they get the money, and people will just take whoever money. I mean, take money and run. So my point is, there is an organization country or an organization unit or a quite powerful country
standing behind them,
supporting them, standing behind them, pushing them to be in this area. Who is looking for the instability in the region? The events or the things happening is telling us. I'm not here to accuse the Iranian regime, but the evidence there, it tells me that whoever want to have this type of chaos in the region, US is not benefited out of this chaos in the region. Egypt is not. Other neighboring country not, except the Iran regimes. Why? It's their constitute. It says one of the, I think, articles in their constitute, it says we have to go and export the revolution toward other Muslims country. That's one of their constitute. So how? By using those terror group.
That's a great.
So just let me finish. How is the price? The question has to be carefully looking at when our weapons are under government control, either the Yemen control, Yemen government, or the Sudanese government, or even the Pakistanis. They have to look at who made those type of weapons, and they have to do a good investigations. And let's be honest, let's go and fight as the international saying, first topic, every leader in the whole world saying that we have to stop the terror. Let's do it reality. Let's do it reality. As I said to you, money, smuggling, trafficking. Who's doing it this? That's my point. Yes, sir.
That's a great. Major Muhammad, let's move on to Al-Qaeda's branch in Yemen. One of the most active in the militant network. Do you think that they have taken advantage of the chaos on the Arabian Peninsula to strengthen its positions, particularly, for example, in remote southern regions?
They have a book, Mr. Zain, Al-Qaeda, their Bible, I could say their Bible, the book that they refer to. Names in Arabic, إدارة التوحش. In English, let's say the chaos management. Okay, so if they need to build up, that's what the book says. Okay, it's been written by, I think, Jordanian author or Egyptian author, I'm not sure, but the most likely they're saying is a Jordanian author, and it's been written sometimes quite old. Yeah, it's not that new book. The book says to exploit or to utilize building up a group of jihadists. Never go to stable places. Look at where is the KSR and then go from there and build up your jihadist group. So getting back to your questions, and I'm definitely sure they will utilize each single second, a minute, and each square there is a chaos. They will go and run like a dogs behind that place, and then they will remain there and they will build up. Look at why they shifted to Afghanistan. Afghanistan is the most, I could say, difficult tribes in the whole world. You just cannot fight them. Those people real tough, and they like to be in a chaos. They don't want to have a government. They don't want to have an stability in their place. So first place, they shifted and they thought about being in Afghanistan. And when they've been attacked, where they went to, as I said early enough, they went to Somalia, and then they went, some of them they're saying went to Sudan. I'm not sure about this, but some. But they find out that